President Donald Trump, who has avoided wearing a mask in public even as the coronavirus pandemic spread, donned one Saturday at a military hospital outside Washington, where he was to meet with wounded soldiers and frontline healthcare workers. The visit to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center marked Trump's first public appearance with a face covering since the virus began sweeping across the United States earlier this year. The president had previously refused to wear a mask in public or to ask other Americans to do so, saying it was a personal choice. At the medical facility, Trump walked by media gathered for a carefully staged photo opportunity, wearing a navy blue mask emblazoned with the presidential seal embossed in gold. Top public health officials have urged the use of masks, along with hand washing and social distancing, to slow the spread of the virus. Critics say that Trump's refusal to wear a mask in public showed a lack of leadership. Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom reopened Saturday with new precautions as coronavirus cases in Florida continue to surge. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Guests were welcomed to the most magical place on earth by greeters wielding digital thermometers, checking temperatures of everyone entering, making sure they had face masks, reminding people to social distance. Disney says there are fewer reservations to keep crowds down and more disinfecting. But some are asking, with a jump in coronavirus cases in Florida in recent weeks, is now the right time to reopen? Universal Orlando and SeaWorld Orlando reopened several weeks ago. Epcot and Hollywood Studios will reopen later in the week. I'm Julie Walker.
For more, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said Saturday that fairer economic systems are needed and urged a future vaccine for the new coronavirus should be available to everyone, everywhere. Speaking in a pre-recorded message to the International AIDS Society Conference, Guterres said that a future vaccine against the virus should be a people's vaccine.
Effective treatment and the future vaccine against the coronavirus must be available to everyone, everywhere, as a global public good, a people's vaccine.
The United States has poured billions of dollars into vaccine efforts at Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Novavax, and AstraZeneca. J&J has said it is aiming for 1 billion doses. Pfizer and BioNTech are pursuing a vaccine and have said they aim to have 1.2 billion doses by the end of 2021. Mourners buried their dead and prayers were held at the graveyard and Srebrenica Potocari Memorial Center in the town of Srebrenica on Saturday for victims of the only crime in Europe since World War II that has been declared a genocide. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says that Srebrenica is still an open wound in Europe's conscience.
8,000 lives lost, 8,000 voices silenced. It is difficult to even grasp the depth of this immense tragedy.
Typically, thousands of visitors attend the commemoration service and funeral, but this year, only a relatively small number of survivors were allowed at the cemetery due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Bosnian War pitted the country's three main ethnic factions, Serbs, Croats, and Bosnian Muslims, against each other after the breakup of Yugoslavia. More than 100,000 people were killed in the conflict. The UN Security Council on Saturday approved a resolution authorizing humanitarian aid deliveries to Syria's mainly rebel-held northwest from Turkey through just one crossing point, a victory for Russia in cutting another crossing the UN aid groups have called critical. Russia, Syria's most important ally, argued that aid should be delivered from within the country across conflict lines, and just one crossing point was needed. The UN and humanitarian groups argued unsuccessfully, along with the vast majority of the Council, that two crossing points were essential to get aid to the 2.8 million people in the northwest of the country. Saturday's vote capped a week of high-stakes rivalry between Russia and China, and the 13 other Council members who voted twice to maintain the two crossings from Turkey that were in operation until their mandate ended on Friday.